I think given what silver did, it's telling us what Hedera is going to do. Because markets move in this fashion. They have 4 phases to them. Hedera Hashgraph really has a broad uptrend ahead of it. And the move that we saw in November, December 2024 was an initiatory move. Since then, we've really just been pulling back to where we broke out from. We've got that broad continuation ahead of us. I know holding cryptocurrencies is fatiguing, but it pays off in my opinion. And that's not financial advice. So this is silver before it obviously went on the epic rally that it did.
All right, so Tripsauce in the chat says 1 is a pulse up, wave 2 is the correction of this wave 1, and the big wave 3 to the upside comes in. Now, what I'm going to ask, is that going to equally apply to most of the crypto? Because we don't always see things behave similarly, and that upside, I find, just tends to not be guaranteed. It kind of depends on the asset and the strength of the asset and various conditions that are going around it. For example, also, I think it's a little weird because when you look at, like, say, revenue versus and how it correlates to price action, price appreciation, you don't see that with like, say, Bitcoin, because Bitcoin behaves more like gold and silver. They tend to be separate assets with separate price curves, compared to, Bitcoin kind of behaves more like gold and silver. Tripsauce says, not all of them the same setups as this I've looked at currently include HBAR, Litecoin, XLM, XRP, BCH, and Quant. I didn't look at Algo. Yeah, I'd be curious to see what you see with Algo, but we can get to that. We'll save that for after the video. But Tripsauce in the chat confirming what we're seeing with All in Crypto.
This is Hedera Hashgraph. You can see phase 1, now into phase 2. We'll put the schematic up as we go through this. So this is phase 3, phase 4 downtrend, phase 1 accumulation, and phase 2 was initiated, in my opinion, on volume back in December 2024. Same thing happened here with silver. You can see the volume, basically no volume whilst it was being accumulated. Then you get this break. You can see the volume shows up. Then you get a declining volume during the pullback, which is the exact same thing that we've had for Hedera Hashgraph, before it finds its feet and does this. Let's play it. And let's just play it through. And this is the route that Hedera Hashgraph, we've always believed this, but this is the route we think it's got ahead of it. With cryptocurrencies, unfortunately, there's volatility that comes inherently. Everybody wants that upside. Nobody wants to suffer the reality of getting to that upside. Every single altcoin I've ever held has had to go through brutal pullbacks to get those kind of returns. And if you guys, some of you were with me in 2021, watch what we did there. We literally got 100x's out of cryptocurrencies, but on the route to getting there, there was brutal pullbacks. And that's just part and parcel of the course, I'm afraid. But this is the route that Hedera Hashgraph very much has ahead of it, in line with how we think markets move.